Hello everyone, Ampro Engineering here, and surprise, surprise, today I wanted to go over a lighting kit that I have been developing for the Tamiya Lunchbox body. This is a pretty simple kit, I have to say, with respect to some of the other ones I've done in the past. It comes with everything that you see in front of you. Now, I must apologize in advance. I had a lovely video all set up with these already on their sprue and kind of how they came out of the package. Unfortunately, the SD card screwed up and bye-bye. So we have to kind of use our imaginations here, but these are the parts that you're going to get with this kit here. I should say, no, you're not getting, you cannot have my stuff. This is what you get. So let's walk through the parts that are needed for this light kit conversion. You're going to see the taillights. Now, these are going to come in this translucent plastic. The reason for it is the way that the light travels within this translucent plastic is really nice. It actually reflects off of all of the material in here and gives a really nice glow, much better than the acrylic, which acts more like a light pipe. In this case here, you get a really slick glow. You can see that I have been beginning to paint these, and it's hard to see here, but you can, if you notice here, the reverse light portion is actually empty. The reason for that is it's right here. The reason I chose to make the reverse light a separate part of the tail light was because of light bleed. This way you can kind of get in here. Once you've painted all this red, which I've done here, I'm going to back everything in silver, including the area inside the reverse light. I'm then going to paint this outside area of the reverse light silver as well. The front I'm going to leave unpainted. Once it's all installed, I'm actually going to paint it black to prevent light bleed from around the unit. This will allow the taillight to glow all around here in red, but the area where the reverse light is will stay completely, or at least significantly more dim. Otherwise, it would just all glow and look kind of crummy. And then when you turn on the reverse lights, they'll glow a nice bright white. The 5mm LED to be pretty much in line with the main lens of the taillight unit. And then on the top, kind of protruding up here, is where you would plug in the turn signal, should you have a turn signal. So they're both going to glow in the same area, and that's pretty true in keeping with how the actual one works. The real Dodge van that this is based off of has a single dual filament taillight bulb in the main body, which provides driving lights, turn signals, and brakes. And then you'd have your separate reverse light. It's not like European cars where you'd have a separate brake light, driving light, and turn signal. In this particular case here, they're all a single bulb with dual filaments. So let's go ahead and put some paint on this and make this lunchbox light up. Okay, these are the front turn signals, again also on the sprue. These accept a 3mm LED, and these are pretty simple to install. We basically just drill out the old spot for the turn signal, and I basically just drilled 3 holes and then enlarged the hole with an X-Acto knife, and this should be able to just basically drop right in there, and hello, turn signal on the grill. The side markers, I think, are actually kind of the simplest ones here, and these are actually showing pretty well. You're probably better than I am at painting, but these have been designed with this little boss around the edge, so they're super easy to paint black around the perimeter, so that it actually looks like it's a side marker sitting in a bezel. So on the body, you can just cut the side markers off. I used a pair of these flush cutters. I probably am not going to do much more cleaning up around here. Number one, this is going to cover it. Number two, as you can tell, this body's kind of done, so I don't want to screw up this area. If you're working on a body that you haven't completed yet, then that's the right time to do it. Same with the front. Okay, and these are just going to push into the little hole right here. You are going to have to kind of oblong these out because you can see on the back these have a trapezoidal profile, and the reason for that is when you put the LED in here, it does allow more light dissipation around the perimeter, so you don't get just a little dot in the middle. It kind of helps spread it out a bit. Taillights, this actually looks harder than it was. This is really easy to do. I just took the X-Acto knife and ran it along the edges on the inside of the black border. Okay, the black border was untouched. I ran it along the inside, drilled it out, did some diagonal cuts with the X-Acto knife again, and then kind of cut these out again with the side cutters. I just kind of went diagonally through here until I got to the corner where I made a little tiny drill hole at each of the 4 corners. I think it's like a 1.5 millimeter. And then at that point, I was able to just kind of apply pressure in the center here and snap them right off. And they came out super clean. I did go ahead and paint the inside just to kind of tidy up a little bit more. And the taillights, these can go on either side. We're just going to go in from behind. Like so. Oh, there you go. I'll push the edge through first. Sorry, I'm doing all of this. There you go. There we go. And installed. Okay, you are going to want to put some adhesive around the border here. I very much recommend that you do not use like super glue or cyanoacrylate. You want to use a model glue because super glue is going to cause fogging to slowly work its way around this, and that's the last thing you want, is to have this thing look kind of crummy once you've installed it. Okay. I can only do so much on these taillights to ensure that they fit on all bodies. You may have to do some shallowing around the inside of the body. I don't think I had to do any of that on here, but it's very hard to account for all the variations in the mold. So this should give you a pretty reasonable idea of how this is going to fit. In order to prevent light bleed, which is definitely a concern here, I went ahead and did a couple of things. I know the color looks a little bit weird, but I took this Textures silver paint. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry here. If you can kind of see, this is what I used. That doesn't mean there's not something else. And I backed the inside of the body in the region where I'm going to apply the black liquid electric tape, because this body, it's a yellow molded body, and the exterior on this particular model isn't painted. It's actually clear coated, or at least polished, to give it a nice shiny appearance. So I wanted to make sure that when I applied a black coat on the inside, it didn't actually darken that region. So I painted all of that silver, and I'm sorry it's a little hard to see. I also painted the region on the external of the side markers, both for the rear as well. Barely see that here. Let me angle it better here. Okay, as the front. Okay, so this one hasn't been done yet. I did want to point out though that it comes really close to intruding on this rib here for the front grille. I was able to barely get the drill in there and prevent that. But if it does actually cut this out here, it's not really going to affect it. The LED again is super close to the front, but it will fit. So I'm going to go ahead and let this glue dry. I put a little bit of model glue here to make sure that these don't pop out. I'll let that dry, and I'll go ahead and I'll coat this area here with some silver paint. Again, just kind of liberally apply the paint around the area over here. Again, just so you don't get light bleed, because the one thing you don't want is spend all this time putting these side markers in, turn the light on, and the entire outside of your body glows orange. That's just going to look stupid. So you want to concentrate on only having the marker at the front, the marker at the rear, the taillight only light up. So the taillight buckets are all painted and ready for installation. It's got that silver trim here I'm going to put on later. I just want to be touching it constantly. So just to show you how this works, here you got the LEDs. I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in the back. And there is our taillight. So you can see, I know it looks really white. That's just the camera doing that. So you have the high beam here. That'll flash onto the low beam. So this plugs in there. And the turn signal here will plug in on top. So let's go ahead and take off the brake and hit the signal. There you go. And then again, the reverse light's going to plug into that little bucket right there. There we go. I painted the entire exterior in silver. And then when this LED is in, I'll go ahead and coat the entire thing in the liquid electric tape. What I did is I went ahead and painted the exterior with a couple of coats of silver. This is going to dramatically reduce the light bleed. You're still going to have some, but it'll keep it pretty minimal. I'm using a Model Master liquid cement here. I really like this stuff because it dries nice and hard, but it also doesn't fog up like a cyano acrylate or super glue would. I'm going to take this and simply line the inside. I'm sorry, this is blurry here. I'm going to line the inside of the hole just a little bit. There we go. And then once that's in there, I will take the lens and just drop it straight in there. Sorry, it's blurry. And we'll use the X-Acto knife to give it a little press. I've gone ahead and finished up all the wiring, and I have to tell you, this has been kind of an ongoing project here. I know for you it's probably only been about 15-20 minutes. For me it's been about 3 weeks. So I hope you enjoy how this thing is going to look. Let's take a look. Turn the radio on. Turn the truck on. Okay, truck is on. Let's make a right and left. And as I mentioned before, this video isn't necessarily about the electronics as much as it is the new lenses that can be installed. Okay, same with the rear. Go left, right. We're going to go ahead and hit the brakes. And let's go reverse. I really wish you could see this better because the light bleed between the reverse and the brake is next to none. So it's brake and reverse. Unfortunately, on the camera, it does not show up nearly as well as in person. But I mean, you can kind of see it there. You really see how little light bleed is going around the reverse light. And when we hit the brake here, the red is just not even noticing that those things are on. So front turn signals, tail lights, reverse lights, now side markers. Put a little switch on these. There you go. Rear marker. Ugh, they're like glowing balls. It's terrible. Does it look any better? Oh, okay. Unfortunately, the camera is not showing how great these things look. You are getting the rectangular appearance here. It's just kind of messing with the lens and giving you a kind of a ball look to it. So I'm sorry about that. Front side marker. And the headlights, I just wired some LED headlights on there. It's kind of a shame because I like the old glow of the Tamiya bulbs, but man, do these work so much better. Let me kill the lights real quick. All right, turn right, turn left. Side markers, tail lights, brake. Oh, this is the radio, not some weird thing going on there. Okay, brake lights, reverse lights. Take a gander at the other side here. Folks, thanks for watching. This has been, like I said, kind of an ongoing project for me. I almost said ordeal. In some cases, these designs can be ordeals, and ultimately they're a labor of love. You know, I like doing this stuff, and that's why I do it. Just to show you very quickly again, this is the brand of light control unit I use, this Common Sense RC. You know, it gets the job done. But the headlight wiring and the side markers just wired to the receiver. Headlights are as well because it does this really stupid thing where when the car is at an idle or just sitting there, the headlights are dull, and when you accelerate, they brighten, and it gets super annoying. And I don't like it, therefore I just completely bypass it. And it shows you all these weird kind of little diagram here to tell you what brake does and backward. The reason I say it's weird is because it's not correct. I ended up wiring the tail lights to socket 8 and the brake lights to socket 6. And the comical part about this, I'm going to show you how high quality these are. Okay, so this is one of them. Socket 6. You see what's missing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Socket 6, they completely skip the, can you see that there? During the manufacturing process, either it was missed completely, so it has no reverse this one here, which is fine because I've got a vehicle that doesn't have reverse, so this will work. But just to show you the quality of these, they cost about 12 or 13 bucks. Honestly, I'd rather pay double that for a high quality product. And this one works. I own about 6 of them. So, you know, just giving you a heads up there. This is what I've been using. Tamiya makes a unit as well for very inexpensive. I think it's around $24. I just ordered it, haven't used it yet. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully that's better. Please subscribe. I've got a whole bunch more videos, probably some more lighting ones coming up too, if this is your kind of thing. I also have a video coming up shortly of the front suspension work on this truck with the double wishbone front suspension, which the Lunchbox has got. I've done the installation on my Midnight Pumpkin, so that's cool. Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm Ampro Engineering on both. And finally, you can purchase these. One order will give you every single lens that you saw here for the front turn signals, side markers, tail lights, and reverse lights. Headlight lenses come with the body, so you don't get those. One order does purchase all of them. They are on a single sprue. These are available on Shapeways. There's a link at the end of the video, as well as in the description. Speaking of links, at the end of this video, you'll also see a link to the band Blue Pinto. They are the band that has allowed me to use all of their songs for my videos. Fantastic album, and I love their music, so please check them out. Thank you again, and we will see you next time.